Hi, and welcome to our family prayer activity. Today I'm coming to you from my sister's lake house, and as us Pittsburghers or Yinzers would like to say, Deep Creek, Lake Maryland, or the people that are local to here and pretty much everyone else in the country, Deep Creek Lake. But what you notice is I'm around a fire. And in the summer now, with all the COVID and with our having restrictions, families are spending more time in the evening around the fire, whether it's extended family like my family's down here for the 4th of July weekend, or if it's just your own family. There's so many things you can do around the fire that can help bring you closer to your faith. I was watching a webinar on how to do Vacation Bible School activities, and one of the things she mentioned were fireside chats, and I thought, okay, we can do faith fireside chats. And there's a couple different ways I thought of that we can really make this work. One is, when you're around the fire, you can just get a flashlight and your Bible and you can read some stories that maybe have fire themes. A great one is from the book of Daniel, when the 3 ministers of God were sentenced to be burned in the furnace, and God saved them and they never burned, and it ended up converting a whole lot of people and having them really know the power of God from a furnace. Another thing that you can do is s'mores with the saints. We all know that s'mores are one of the greatest, most awesome snacks that you can have around a fire. So what you can do is, as you're making your s'mores, you can talk about some of the different saints that we have. One of the most popular is St. Francis. What I love about St. Francis is we all know he loved nature and he loved all of God's creatures. So as you're sitting around the fire, you can think about all the animals that are around you. I know just in this area where I am right now, there have been deer, there's chipmunks in my sister's yard. There's a little bunny over where she has her access to the lake. There was even, I heard, a bear around here last night. So there's all kind of God's creatures, and you can talk about that when you talk about St. Francis. You can read a story about St. Francis, or just maybe say all the different things you know. Another really great saint you can do around the fire is St. Joan of Arc. You can really show and have a visual about how she was burned at the stake when you're around the campfire, and realize how strong her faith was, how much she can go through for God, knowing what the right thing to do is. Another thing that you can do, that's anything to do, if your family is familiar with fireside games, a popular one that my family does is the alphabet game. And we'll sit around the fire and we'll say, have to come up with things with different topics. For example, like if we do movies, everyone has to go around and say a movie that begins with A or a movie that begins with B, and go all the way around the circle and try to be able to think of these things. Well, you can do it with church things, and we actually did this last night. And it was a great way to actually see what we knew or didn't know about different items or different things or different people associated with the church. A great example, when we were doing A, we were going around and saying things like altar and angel, and I said aspergillum. Well, my one sister said, what is an aspergillum? And so I was able to tell her that that was the vessel that the priest uses to sprinkle the holy water on the congregation. And my other sister said, I just thought that was called the sprinkle thing. So we all learned what an aspergillum was. So that can be a great learning experience for your family to learn about some of the parts of the church that you can all do around the fireside. So as you can see, there's a lot of things you can do to bring your faith to your evening fire. So on that note, I want to say please stay safe, take care, God bless, and definitely enjoy the s'mores.